Hey guys, Wolvie here. This is a complete redo of RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 11, Part 1 of 3. Now, this is a complete redo because, unfortunately, the one I filmed ahead of time, unfortunately, that got copyright claimed. I'm not going to risk anything in sense of, appealing it, whatever. But it is what it is. So, disclaimer, as always, any opinion in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. So like I said, this is a complete retake of Volume 8, Chapter 11, Part 1 of 3. So just a little forewarning there. The original has been copyright claimed, so I'm not even gonna, fight it or anything, because I'm just wasting my time. But anyway, the name of the particular chapter is called Risk. It's about, taking a risk, all that stuff. So there's a lot to digest here. And like I said, I've already filmed parts 2 and 3 ahead, as well. So fortunately, I'm not as far behind as I think I am. Fortunately, this is a brand new part 1 of 3, so that's sad on that. So with part 1 here is basically taking a risk, Ren taking a risk in the sense of confessing his feelings to Nora, which I think other ships, should follow suit. Because, if you don't have that talk, it's just you can't assume stuff based on gestures alone. So, oddly enough, with Nora, right now it's just I think you can tell she kind of feels the same way, but she really needs this time to really think things through. I do see a death flag here for Nora, because in parts 2 and 3, I did explain there that with Nora, it's the whole snake bit being ironwood, that sort of thing. And that I think she's going to be scumming to her injuries because Jean's running out. And the whole thing with Penny is just that's probably another quote unquote death flag for Penny. I do feel that if she is based off of Pinocchio, Penny's probably going to, well, I mean, certain things are going to happen, but it's just a matter of, anything from here on out. So I'm not going to make this too long. Like I said, the first take I had of part 1 of 3, that got completely copyright claimed, that sort of thing. So it's one of those things, it is what it is. I mean, gotta take it like a champ. I mean, I'm not even going to fight it because it's you know what? People are going to do whatever they want. So, yeah. But anyway, that's the whole thing with Nora, Ren, it's kind of angsty, but it's necessary in its own right, because it's you need time to think these through before making a certain decision. Now, with Penny, I'm the whole thing with her dialogue between her and, I know that RWBY was by Penny regarding the kill me, kill me, kill me, it's the whole kind of that dialogue, Mulan had in the literature aspect before she died. So it's one of those things, it's we're seeing a 2-for-1 here, that sort of thing, with that whole dialogue. That's just my opinion on the matter. Now, so that's the whole thing with that. Now, the whole thing with Crow, Robin, then Marrow and Winter is just I'm thinking to myself here, it's we could see another team in the making, and I think, it's just the way Winter intervenes to save Marrow is just holy crap. It's I'm a little surprised, but it's Winter, I think she was thinking about overtaking him either way, because the fact that she saw Ironwood in the beginning of Volume 8, where it's she, how do I want to say this? She was the one who saw Ironwood shoot Councilman, killing them without being provoked. And so it's I think Winter was planning something from the beginning of Volume 8 to overtake Ironwood, that sort of thing. It's just I wouldn't be surprised. And then the whole meeting aspect regarding the Staff of Creation, which has been mentioned in one way or another, I'm okay, this is going to get interesting. I do see Ironwood dying either in this volume or Volume 9. Now, there has been talk regarding the detour before going to vacuum. I mean, there has been some talk on that on Twitter. I mean, check it out for yourselves on your own time, because honestly, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't want to say something incorrect, but just like, has been some talk of a detour before going to vacuum. So, and this is assuming that we have volume 10 confirmed, because one of the writers mentioned that the writing is done up to volume 9. We haven't heard anything on volume 10 as of yet. So take that with what you will. So, the whole thing with Marrow and Winter, I'm like, that's a little surprising. I'm like, okay, I think Winter's thinking of something. When I saw that whole thing with that scene with Winter and Marrow, I'm like, Winter's planning something. We just haven't even heard about it. Now, the whole thing with Ironwood assuming things about Wise, I'm like, I don't think I'm not so sure it's like if she's like staying silent for a reason, but yeah. But I'm hoping we get some more answers on the whole thing with Weiss, not being super talkative. Yeah, I hope we hear more about that soon. Now, the whole thing where it's just like where Crow and Robert were like, "What the huh? Who is this?" And then yeah. So one of those things that I'm like, okay, I'm a little interested to see, the other people on the other side. I mean, I'm trying not to spoil anything for chapter 12, so that's that on that. And I'm actually done with this particular video. I just want to keep it super short because I actually have to get ready for work. Although I'm stressed, there are some things I still need to go grab. But yeah, to do a super quick recap before I sign off, I just want to say, I think Winter is up to something instead of overtaking Ironwood. And the whole thing with Marrow, I'm thinking he's having a bigger influence than we think. And I think the way Marrow is being influenced by Weiss from their fight in Volume 7. So I'm thinking, Weiss, she may not be speaking so much in this volume thus far, but it's like, sometimes silence is golden. It's like your actions dictate who you are. And I think with Marrow being inspired by Weiss, you gotta do better, gotta be better, that sort of thing. It's like I'm thinking, we know that Marrow now has a change of heart, and where I won't be surprised if it's the same thing with Winter, but you never know with her nowadays. With Nora and Ren, I do feel Nora is going to be a death. And if Penny does die, I think she's going to get the Pinocchio death, where I mentioned this in one of the other 2 parts, where Pinocchio becomes a real human as opposed to the toy from before. Now, with resources like where they are being depleted, just like, I won't be surprised if John is going to be left in a vulnerable state, because he is based on a real life figure known as, aka Joan of Arc. So that's that on that. I just want to do a super quick recap. I'm done with this video for right now. So with Wolfie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.